Okay, guys, can you hear me now? Well, cool. So I just got a message that I'm audible now. So if you guys can confirm once in the chat box. Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cool. I think there was some problem with my earphones and my computer. I'm not really sure what was the problem. Cool. So I was talking about. I think you guys didn't hear me since the beginning. So let me just start all over again. So welcome to the Leap Expert Hour, and I hope all you guys had. Really good Diwali weekend, and as we are back from another, this festive season, we are back with another live session where we're going to discuss something very, very important, and I think it has been going on, for a very, very long time. How the recession in the UK is going to affect you, how it's going to affect international students in general. So we do have a very special guest joining us from the UK. She has been living in the UK for the last 15 years, and she has a first-hand experience of the UK job market, and she'll be able to address a lot of your insecurities and your questions. So obviously, UK has been subjected to a lot of scrutiny right now because of this whole economic turmoil and the political instability. However, I believe the inflation thing is basically everywhere in the world, not just in the UK. So if you look at US as well and Canada as well, every country is facing a fair share of challenges in terms of inflation. But yes, when we specifically talk about Europe and UK specifically, I think UK has been immensely hit by something called Brexit. So yeah, let's discuss everything, and also we discuss a few courses which are recession proof, and not just in the UK, but again these courses are applicable everywhere. So even in the last recession in 2008, a lot of these fields were very much in demand and they flourished, and it is expected that these courses will be pretty good for your career. And if you start your journey this year, or let's say January or September, you can be rest assured that most of the economists believe that we will be out of the recession by 2023 end. So let's have Sarika, join us in a few minutes, and until then, I'll briefly cover this quick presentation. So, cool. Let me just go through some questions. Okay, so most of these are around no audio. Okay. Uh, cool. So if we talk about tech courses, so I've divided this presentation into tech and non-tech courses. So if we talk about tech courses, these are the few courses which will stay in demand, which will be very much, in demand in 2023. So I'm reading a lot of papers and a lot of reports by leading newspapers and think tanks, and a lot of people are actually very, very bullish on the fact that the UK has a very strong IT sector, very strong tech sector. So we do see a lot of growth in this sector irrespective of the recession. So business analytics, data sciences, cybersecurity, networking, information systems, engineering and engineering management, and AI and machine learning are a few top courses which you can choose in the tech side, and you can be pretty much sure that these will be untouched by recession. Next up, if we talk about non-tech courses, so non-tech courses, I would say MBAs, and MBAs, I would generally say MBAs that require work experience. I'm not very in favor of MBAs that are like fresher MBAs. So if you're getting into a top B school and going for an MBA degree, I'm pretty much sure it will be worth it. Nursing, obviously, because after COVID we have seen the ripple effect all over the world, wherein we have seen a lot of healthcare shortages, healthcare skill shortages, and nursing is no exception. Pharmacy, pharmacists, very much in demand. Healthcare management, administration, NHS is actually going through a very, very uh, massive shortage in healthcare professionals. So this can be a good field of study for you. Accounting and finance, when there is recession, when there is money crisis, people from these backgrounds are actually one of the, I would say, life saviors. So if you're looking to study for a program in accounting and finance, it can be a good option for you. Social work and elderly or childcare, very much in demand as well. Again, given that we are still grappling we're still going through this whole after effects of COVID, and a lot of people are needing care. Digital marketing, because most people are now switching, most organizations are now switching to digital marketing, and they need good people, they need skilled people in this field. Economics and actuarial sciences, people who play with data, people who decide basically the future trajectory of the economy, they are very much in demand. So these are the few non-tech courses you can pursue. Also, on that note, we have co-created a course on business analytics. So if you're looking to study business analytics in the UK, it's a very, very affordable course. There is a link which is floating on your chat box. If you want to study business analytics in the UK, I have created a guide with Sarika and one international student from University of Warwick. And this guide covers everything starting with the current and future trends of the UK job market, specifically in terms of business analytics, what kind of roles you can target, what kind of locations, what kind of companies hire international workers, what kind of salaries you can expect. Then we have some free resources like sample cover letters and CVs. Also, we talk everything about intakes, programs, prerequisites, fee, living costs, and visas. So everything on your fingertips. It's a 60-minute recorded session, 3 sessions of 60 minutes, and it will cover most information you'll need to study for a business analytics program in the UK. So yes, the link is floating in your chat box, and go sign up. It's very affordable, and do share your feedback on any of my videos. Cool. So let us welcome Sarika. She's already joined us. Just give me a second. Hey Sarika, how are you? Sarika, I can't hear you. I think you're on mute. Not really. Can you try rejoining again? Cool. So let us answer the first question, which is by Kinjal, which is the best option. Uh, so she's done international BBA and international MBA from Birmingham City, MBA from Cardiff Metropolitan, MSc Finance from Manchester Met, or MSc Finance and Investment from Sheffield Hallam. Okay. Kinjal, let me just quickly get to your question. Give me a second. Sarika is here. And can't hear you again, Sarika. I don't know. This is some glitch. Actually, I also went through this. I'm not really sure. Can you try changing the setting of your, maybe try use computer, microphone or something? Cool. So, Kinjal, answering your question, I would say I am not in the favor of MBAs in general. So, I would say uh, go for MSc Finance from Manchester Met. That will be my first preference. Uh, I'm pretty much sure if you don't have experience, I would always recommend going for an MSc rather than an MBA. If you want to do an MBA, I would advise that you go for at least 2 to 3 years of work experience and then go for an MBA, because I'm not a very in favor of international MBAs and fresher MBAs in general.
Can you hear me, Saket, now?
Yes. I think, yeah.
I've joined through my phone. I don't know what's wrong with my system, but I've checked my audio and mic. Everything looks fine. I've tested it. Not sure what's happening.
Right. I think there's some problem with the software we're using. So yeah, let's just sort it out after this session.
Yeah,
Cool.
sure.
Cool. Welcome, Sarika. I think this is our 4th or 5th session together, I believe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Cool. So I was just for those who are new to the channel, or those who don't know who Sarika is. So Sarika is basically from the UK. She's been living in the UK for the last 15 years. She's a business analyst herself, and she works with one of the leading travel companies in the world called TUI. And she also runs a YouTube channel called YourKnowledgeBuddy, which is basically which guides you everything about UK. And go check out that channel after after you're done with this session. And Sarika, I was just telling students that how UK is actually going through this whole economic and political crisis right now, and which I believe is kind of getting resolved. But again, I think in the last few weeks or so, I've got so many questions on my LinkedIn, on my Instagram, asking students asking me, what is happening, and I'm already planning to study in the UK. So how is it going to affect me? So
Yeah.
briefly, if you can just take us through the whole situation, because you are there and you have a better
Yeah.
understanding of what is happening.
Okay. Thank you very much, Saket. So I'm getting similar question. The most common question is it the right time to come to the UK?
Yeah.
There are students who are already enrolled for January intake, and there are few students who are planning after January. So the question is, should we come or not? So I see two things here. So first of all, if you're worried about your job, that you will not get a job, let me tell you, there are jobs. Still now, Bank of England, they have published a report. What it says, when a country or when any country which goes into recession, in terms of job, you will not see the job dropping or unemployment dropping or rising very quickly. It takes almost 3 months to show you the result. So as per
Yeah.
the research survey, what it says, for the next 3 months, they don't see any impact in terms of jobs. So whatever jobs you had seen before COVID, or before recession, or before this quarter, it's going to be the same. So if you're already planning for January intake, I don't think you should stop your plan or you should postpone your plan. You should still go ahead with your plan. What it means, there are jobs, but in the future, the number of job openings may decline. And it's not mature enough to talk about it now, because we will follow the guidelines or the reports which is published by the Bank of England. But as of now, as of today, as of October 18th, the report which was published by the UK government itself, which is available
Yeah.
on the internet, you can read about it. What it says, there are still enough jobs, and they have done a survey with the top 2000 companies in the UK, and they have brought in the senior HR people who are the decision makers.
Yeah.
So for the 3 months, they don't have any plans to reduce the jobs, or they have no plans to stop recruitment. So the recruitment is not stopping at all. They will still go ahead and publish those jobs. They will still go ahead and bring more candidates, and then to join their team. So there's no impact as such, but there can be impact. The jobs can decline after 3 months. So that is the thing. Now, what Saket was talking, I just saw through the slides that Saket had. There are two things, guys, that you need to remember. So when you come to the UK, getting a job is a one question. Getting a visa sponsorship job is a different question altogether. So what
Yeah.
we are, before recession, whatever jobs you were getting even before that, you will still continue getting that. Yeah, there are plenty of jobs for you guys. Say retail, the report from Bank of England, what it says, the highest number of jobs which are available in retail, there are highest number of jobs available in the supply chain. So if you guys are
Hmm.
part of that, there will be lots of opportunity for you. So say you are coming to study something else, yeah, and you don't find a job in your line, that is a different question. If your question is, whether I'll get a job or not, yes, you will get a job. Yeah, and getting a visa sponsorship job, like Saket has mentioned in slides, those are the trending jobs or opportunities where there are lots of companies in the UK, however big, small, or medium size they are. If they have the license in the UK to recruit a foreign candidate like yourself, international students, you will definitely find companies sponsoring your visa, given that you have the right skill sets and experience needed for the job, for the UK market.
Right. And talking about this, Sarika, there's one more question I want to ask you, and I think a lot of students would have this question as well, which is, someone who's targeting January or September, right? So they'll be graduating sometime towards the end of 2023 or maybe in 2024. Do you
Mhm.
see the situation easing in 2024?
Uh, I'll just go by what Bank of England said. Yeah. So as of the report, it says that end of next year we will still be in recession. So the impact may be seen that time. We don't know at the moment.
Right.
However, like I said, if we guys survived COVID, we survived Brexit, we survived the recession in 2009 and 10, you
Yeah.
can survive now. So the reason for us to host this platform or create a course or to educate you guys so that you can prepare in advance. You're already aware there can be a problem. So how can you prepare for yourselves? Yeah. So prepare yourself by upscaling or learning new skills which are in demand in the UK. So
Yeah.
Saket, I would say we will have to wait for the results from the Bank of England. What are the prediction? There can be a decline in the jobs. There can be people who can struggle, but let's wait
Yeah.
for those reports to be published later.
Right. Makes sense. And Sarika, like your comments on the political turmoil. So I think that's kind of stabilizing now with Rishi Sunak kind of heading the UK government. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think I shouldn't be saying this openly, but the Asian crowd is very happy at the moment.
Very happy. Yeah.
Yeah, they are all lauding for our new PM, and I think they everybody trust him. The way he's taking all those questions in the parliament, or the way he's doing the BBC talks and everywhere, people are confident that he will be able to take us through a tough journey or bring us to a stable economy. There can be some tough decisions which he had been saying throughout in his interview, but I believe we are in much better state than we were in the last few weeks or few months. I think it's going to be tough. Let's not say it's not going to be tough, but we will be out of it in
Right.
maybe months, 4 months. We will progress better than we are now.
Right. Cool. Taking up the first question, I think from Rajat, when exactly does January intake start? So January intake starts it depends on the uni. Usually it starts sometime in the second week or the third week. Rajat, have you applied yet? I'm not really sure because most universities are already closed for January 23, and for the next available intake would be September 23. Uh, Next up, Promit has a question. Sarika, would you like to take it up? MS in International Business versus MS in Management.
Where is the question? Are you on your screen?
Yeah, so this guy is confused between MS in International Business or MS in Management. Which one would you recommend?
So first of all, guys, I had said this in this session as well with Saket. At this time, I will tell you to stay away from the management as much as possible. That is not the safest place to be, because any management course means that you have a generic skill set. You don't have
Yeah,
a what do you say, specialization. You don't have any specialized skill set which is needed for the UK market. So I will say stay away from the management and try to get into the specialized course like international business. But again, I have not seen the course module. I don't know what international business includes. So you need to go through the details and check what does it include. And if at all possible, I'm not in favor of any at the moment. I will say the slides which Saket have showed in the first slides, they were good slides. And also the second, if at all you can pick up something from that, you will be in a better place than taking a generic kind of management course.
right. And I think I'll resonate with Sarika here as well, Promit, because I think both international business and management are very, very generic courses. I would advise that if you have interest in a very specific field of study like finance or accounting or digital marketing, which are the three most, I would say, in demand specializations, go for these. Although MSc in management has a lot of finance modules, but again, I would highly recommend that you go for a specialization. I hope that answers your question. Next up question we have from Pranjali, and she's asking which month should I apply for masters for September 23 intake. The universities have already started accepting, Pranjali. I'm not really sure which kind of universities you're targeting. So if you're looking at a top ranking university like a Russell Group University, Imperial College started in September. LSE is open, King's is open, Warwick is open, Manchester is open. So both all these major Russell Group universities, they usually fill up very quickly. So apply as early as possible. But if you're looking at modern universities, they continue accepting applications until April or May, depending on program availability. But I would suggest that you apply early. Uh, cool. Next up, we have a question from Githartha. So, business analytics, Exeter, I can comment about the university. Exeter is a Russell Group university, and it's one of the affordable Russell Group universities, I would say. Githartha, and it's a very good university for sure. In terms of job prospects and the market, I think Sarika can comment better because she's from the industry herself.
Saket, for some reason, there's a delay from my side. I don't know why. So, can you just pin that comment? I'm not seeing it on my screen till now.
I have already pinned that.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So,
Yeah.
was it or the business analytics? Yeah.
Analytics, yeah.
With your eyes closed. Yeah, if you don't understand anything, just go for it. Yeah, that is the best, the hottest place which you should be. Learn anything and everything that they talk about in analytics. And also, most important thing, you may see lots of courses in the university which have an analytics name. So wherever you see analytics, go for it. But you may see the course models little different. Some may focus more on the business. Some may focus more on data side. Yeah, it will have business analytics or data analytics. My preference is always go where you have data analytics, because that is where you have more on the technical side. Business analytics, if you put, you will learn less of technical side. But the reality, when you start applying for the jobs after finishing your study, you will find less jobs business analytics rather than data analytics. And then when you get into that kind of jobs, the expectation is whatever you learned in business analytics, they will expect you to do everything that you learn in data analytics. So it's better to do data analytics course where you have an in-depth knowledge of, say, Python, R, or SQL, Power BI, Tableau. Those are the hot technology which everybody needs. So if you have any hands-on experience around those, that will be huge help for you while job hunting and also during your interviews.
Right. And on that note, Gitartha, we do have a very curated course, with us on business analytics. It is available at a very affordable price, and you do get a lot of insights from Sarika as well in that course. She's I think put in all her knowledge she has gained over the last 15 years or so into that course, and I believe it's very affordable given that the kind of information you get. So there is a link which is floating in the chat box. Go sign up, and you do get a lot of information on the course. uh, cool. Next up, we have a question from Vishal Gaurav. I'm applying for the visa on 10th November, and the course begins on 10th Jan. Should I apply for standard or priority visa? So I think, Vishal, I think currently the processing time for UK student visa is around 3 weeks to 4 weeks approximately. So I believe you can go for a standard visa. Why do you have to pay £500 extra on the top of the standard fee? Uh, Rajat Arora, how does one know when the course starts? Basically, it should be mentioned on your offer letter. Uh, right. Sarika, the next question is on cyber security.
Mhm.
And so this person is from electronics. Yes, you can switch to cybersecurity in the G. There are plenty options. A lot of universities also offer something called conversion courses. I've just done a video on this recently. You can go check out our channel. So what is the scope of cybersecurity in UK?
Good scope and huge scope. There's also in UK shortlist list. You will definitely see there will be opportunities. And if your profile is good enough as per the UK market, where I mean, you also have a professional certificate which is needed for cybersecurity, and if you have few years of experience in cybersecurity, you will also see that the companies will also sponsor. In fact, my company also sponsors visa for cybersecurity if you have few years of experience and also if you have the professional certificate needed for you to do that job. So yes, so answering to your question, there is a good demand and you have chosen the right course. And again, to get into IT, you don't need to have any prior background. What you need to know is if you do any professional certificate or get yourself certified through any you of your choice. It's all about your knowledge. If you have the knowledge to perform a job, you will be good. So yes, good choice.
Right, and Indraji, just to add to this whole discussion, UK as a country, it's very flexible. Yes, there are some universities that will require you to have a relevant background. So just to give an idea, if you look at Imperial College London, which is like one of the top 10 universities in the world, and you're looking at a master's in business analytics in that uni, even they will accept you without a relevant degree if you have some sort of math and stat proficiency. So, unlike Canada, UK is very flexible, and I think most universities understand that students kind of develop, interest in a subject at very later stage of their careers. So, look at me. I studied HR basically, and now I'm kind of into a marketing sort of role. So yeah, like I think most people change their fields, so it's pretty much okay. And the most the best part is, the student visa is not a problem in the UK, unlike Canada, where they kind of really scrutinize your whole background. Cool. I hope that answers your question. Sarika, we have a very interesting question now from Kinjal.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so she's talking about accreditations and AACSB, so which is on one of the, I think, B school. Yeah. So EQUAS is the European, AMB is the UK accreditation, and the AACSB is the American accreditation. So, do you think, like, let's say when we talk about accreditations in general, that do you think that matter? Those accreditations matter in general.
So she's asking about finance, right? So should we talk about Oh, okay. So there's so many other questions from Kinjal. Sorry, I was reading your chat as well.
Yeah.
I think in the UK, no. I would say in the UK, what matters is your professional certificates, experience and certificates. And other than that, I really don't think it matters. And I can tell you with confidence from my being here for so long in the UK, it doesn't. When we hire candidates, we never even look at, where you have studied from. What we look at, what your experience is and what kind of professional certificates you have to do that kind of job. So I will just say no to it.
Right. Next up, we have a question. I think this is a very perennial question I get. What is the difference between data analytics and business analytics, or maybe data sciences and business analytics? I think very, very overlapping fields, and even I don't really understand what to answer. So I think you'll be the best person.
Yeah. So I'll just talk about business analytics and data analytics today. Okay. So when you have data analytics, it means you will have to play with the data. When it means you will be given millions and millions of data, which you will have to make sense of unstructured data. Okay. And how do you make sense of unstructured data? You will have to use all the technologies. It can be Python, it can be programming language R, it can be SQL, Power BI, Tableau. So all those kinds of tools are used to make your unstructured data structured, which you make pretty graphs and you present it to the leadership team. Okay. Now, when it comes to business analytics, that role involves less of your programming language R or Python. You are expected only to know SQL, and you're expected to know any of the dashboard tools, like in the UK, Tableau and Power BI is the most famous tools which most of the employers use. Expected to learn too much of Python or programming language R. Just with your SQL and Power BI tools or Tableau tool, you can make sense of the data which is given to you, unstructured data. And then once you use this SQL and Power BI Tableau, and then you need to present your findings to the business. So that is the only difference. However, if you require a visa sponsorship, let me just tell you, you will find less companies giving you visa sponsorship if you just know SQL and Power BI Tableau, because that is still considered as not very technical. So if you require a visa sponsorship after your post-study work permit is over, if you want to settle down in the UK, I will definitely encourage you guys to learn the programming language R or Python, because that will definitely increase your chances to get visa sponsorship in the UK if you want to stay back. So that is the difference.
Right. I hope that answers your question, Shivam. Shubham, I'm in my final year of BTech. Should I start applying for universities now? I only have my results till 5 semesters. Yes, Shubham, you can start. So UK universities give you something called conditional offer letter. So even if you don't have your final results yet, apply early. And the advantage of actually applying early is basically you also get access to merit-based scholarships, which is only offered to offer holders, and the merit-based scholarships can range northwards of £10,000 as well. So what if you get a good discount on your tuition fee? Apply early, start right now, and I believe if you're targeting really really top universities, uh, I always recommend that apply by the first round of deadline, which is usually November end. But again, I would say submit your application before Christmas, and hopefully you'll get a revert on your application within 6 to 7 weeks approximately. And it also depends on which course you're looking at. So if you're looking at something like business analytics or data sciences or all these kind of courses, these courses fill up very fast, so apply as soon as possible. Next up, so again, I think a very quintessential question we get: better to go abroad as a graduate or an undergraduate? What's your take, looking at the expenses part?
So I think most of you guys who are asking this question, I think Vedant, I think you missed the last session which we had with Saket. I think Saket openly said from his own experience, it's better to
Yeah.
graduation in India and then move abroad, and I'm going to stick to it. First of all, again, sorry for my language, but unless until you're Ambani's or someone really rich, you can come and do your undergraduation here. But however, I still think India's education system is very strong, that your knowledge is very strong, and you can easily survive or get a job with the kind of knowledge that you gain on the education system in India. You can easily compete with people abroad. So in terms of cost, it's very expensive. I will not recommend anyone to do it unless until you have lots of money or your parents are pretty rich. Our middle class families, definitely finish your graduation in India. You can come and do your masters if you need exposure. And whatever things that you saw on slide that Saket was presenting, if you guys have already some experience in India with any of those skill sets, you can apply directly from India after 2 to 3 years of experience. I already have example of a person who was into data analytics with just 2 years of experience in India. He had managed to get a job directly in the UK, and I'm interviewing him very soon. So data analytics, and he's in Skyscanner now. So
Right. Makes sense. Talking about other health related jobs, Sarika. Any information? I think this is again a very upcoming field, health informatics. So Swansea is a good uni. So let's just talk about the course, in general. So we see a lot of intersection between healthcare and IT now. So I think healthcare informatics is one of these courses. So what's
yeah,
your take on these courses? Like, are they in demand? These kind of courses?
huge demand at the moment because they are still, I think, um, last week, I think I have taken out the numbers. So there are around 1 million jobs which are still advertised just under the healthcare industry. Okay. And of course, healthcare industry is huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So includes nurses, it includes doctors, radiographers, and then care assistants as well. So if you take any course under the healthcare, you will be in demand. And then, of course, they don't want to let go these students very easily because they will try to fit you somewhere. But if you're
Yeah.
coming as a manager, then please do not expect that you will get into a manager kind of role. If you have some experience already, then you may get into the care manager kind of role or senior care managers kind of role. But if you're a fresher, they are still happy to train you after 3 months or 6 months, and they will give you a job of a care assistant jobs. And then once you gain experience, again, speaking to international students, I can tell you they join as a fresher. Now after 1 year they were doing very good, they had been promoted to manager level as well. So yes, there's a
Yeah.
huge demand. Worried about jobs, there are jobs, and also there are visa sponsorship jobs. If you want to settle down and if you really like this field, you can continue in this field as well.
Right. I hope that answers your question, Tejas. Next question we have from Promit again. So he's asking about internships. So is it difficult to get internships right now in the UK?
Yeah, so getting internship was never easy in the UK, first of all, because of huge competition. And then remember, I mean, Indian students are not the only students who come here, there are other students as well. So they only, again, nothing is easy. Like, you need to work hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
when you national student, you need to prepare that your journey may not be easy. You'll have to work hard. So, and you can come up with some strategy. So the key is the moment, say, if you have already come here in September intake this year, you should start applying for your internship from now itself. Or in fact, some of the clever students I know, they had started their search 1 month in advance when they were in India. So I would say the sooner you start, better for you, because you remember there's huge competition, and the big companies, they start their internship application almost 1 year to 10 months in advance. So for next
Yeah.
year in September, big companies have already logged up. Yeah, they already know which students are coming. The interviews are already done, and they will be getting into those companies. However, small companies, small size companies and medium size companies, they don't have that kind of pattern. They still are happy to take candidates 6 months in advance or 3 months in advance. So the key is to keep on applying, look for the companies who are still recruiting, and apply through all the famous job sites. LinkedIn is my famous, which I really like, because
Yeah.
almost 90-95% of the recruiters or the employers will always advertise about the internship. They already have a filter called an internship. Just use it. You can use Read, Indeed. So there are so many other job sites as well, which is available. But definitely go for LinkedIn, and also follow your favorite companies. Yeah. So that whenever they post something, you will be notified. If big companies, they will always say, hey, applications are open for internship for this year, start applying. So follow your favorite companies. If you already have in your mind 10 to 15 companies that you want to get into, or 50 companies, just
Hmm.
start.
Right. Makes sense. I hope that answers your question from it. Next up, I'll take a question from Gitartha. Imperial College in Business Analytics and other top ranked Russell Group universities. So basically, if I talk about Imperial College, they have a little bit different sort of admission procedure. So ideally, Gitartha, for Imperial College, you will need an SOP, which is not a regular SOP. So they'll ask you four questions which you'll have to answer, and that's the personal statement they take in. Next is your career planning questions. So you essentially, they're like 7 to 8 questions, and that they'll be relating to your future career plans. So go check out the website. Also, for Imperial College, they will also look at your math and stat experience in the past. So that is one thing. Apart from that, other top ranked Russell Group universities, I think pretty much the same. You need a standard SOP, LORs, and other stuff like your mark sheets and your CV, and you're good to go. Again, the percentages will matter. If you're looking at Russell Group, I would say at least a first class degree or a minimum of 65%, I would say, to get into a top tier Russell Group. Uh, cool. Next up, let me just. Uh, So we have a question from Hey Sahil, I'm doing well. Belated happy Diwali to you too. Uh, Siva, Siva, yes, Siva, we can help you with Manchester, and you can get in touch with us. Just go to our website, and someone can get in touch with you, and they'll help you with your applications. Manchester is already, I think, open. So, and plus, it's a very, very competitive university to get into. So, apply as soon as possible. Uh, okay, so Sarika, we have one more question on sandwich programs in which students intern during the placement year. What's your take on that?
I will say you should go for it because it means you will have one extra year to be in the UK. So it means 1 year you do your study, 1 year is your job or internship, and then 2 years of PSW. It means you have 4 years to get your visa sponsorship if at all you want to settle down in the UK. Because talking to current international students, I see they think 3 years is still enough because 1 year they take to settle down as a student, finish assignments, do their networking, and connect with more recruiters or employers. I think they are, and they're saying that 3 years is still not enough. So I would say more chances you have, I mean, more year you have, better for you, so that you can expand your network, you understand the UK economy, the culture, and you can network with people and learn from your mistakes. So I would say go for it if at all you have that opportunity or you find that university where they have that sandwich here. But again, I'm
Yeah,
not going to say the must, because it all depends on your profile, people's profile, what kind of experience you have, what kind of course you're selecting, and how good are you at interview. That is very important, which people don't talk about it. There are a
yeah,
lot of times I've seen people, they got the knowledge, when it comes to interview they are not at all good. Yeah. So it's a combination of a lot of factors. So I will say uh, if you get that opportunity, go for that sandwich year. If you don't be super duper depressed that hey, you're not getting in your college that you're looking for. It's not the end of the world. Just focus on your um, getting a certification, a professional certificate in your field, and if you have some experience, practice, practice, practice as much possible
yeah.
your interview, and that will definitely give you success.
Right. I hope that answers your question. Shivam and Muskan, they had same question. Muskan has another question, and interestingly, I have an example, Muskan. So Royal Holloway study MSc International Business and Management. So my best friend, he studied the same course, and he's working in India currently with one of the big four firms. So yeah, so I think it's pretty cool. I don't see any problem with that. Sarika, before you leave, and I believe it's already like your time to go. So, any few words on the our business analytics course, and for students who are looking to study in the UK for the next year.
I will definitely say, guys, this course is not very expensive. It's every worth the money, because once you land in the UK, you will have lots of problems. At least if you go through this 1 hour course, that's a big eye opener for you. Then you know which companies to target, how to write your CV, how to write your current cover letter. How you should structure it, what kind of jobs you can target. When people do the course, they really don't know what kind of jobs they have to apply for. So
Yeah,
this course tell you based on your experience what kind of jobs you can target. And it also talks about how the industry is growing and how the demand is growing. And then, like Saket said, he had his bits, and then there's international students as well who had provided their input. So I believe you can definitely give 1 hour to yourself if you're planning to come to the UK. And if you want to make your chances more to succeed in the UK market, just go for it with your eyes closed. Yeah. I would say it's every time and the money as well.
Right. Cool. Thank you so much, Sarika, for today. And I believe, your insights have been very, very helpful for me as well, to understand the UK job market and what UK is going through currently. And we sincerely hope, things get better soon. And I'm pretty much sure because, like you said, UK has survived. I was there during the 2008 recession. So I've seen that period that,
Yeah.
it was pretty bad then as well. So I think UK has survived 2008 and the COVID and the Brexit as well. So I believe this will be over soon as well. So thank you so much, Sarika, and have a great weekend.
And you as well. Thank you for having me, Saket. See you
Bye.
later. Bye. All the best.
Thank you. Cool. So let me just take more questions. Gitartha has again question on Surrey versus Exeter. Surrey has 2 years master's program in business analytics. So Gitartha, if you're looking at, see, Abhi, I'll tell you one thing. Surrey is not a Russell group. Exeter is a Russell group. But if I talk about purely business analytics, and I have spoken to Sharath from Surrey, if the video is there on our YouTube channel. Uh, and I think Surrey has a very, very great reputation in terms of business analytics program in general. And yes, they do have it as you can do the industrial placement as well. My choice would be Surrey here rather than Exeter, but again it will depend on what you want, because some people are very, very keen on studying only in Russell group, so entirely comes down to you. But again, I believe, I've seen your I believe, I remember your profile because I've seen you attending a lot of my other sessions as well. You can also try applying to better universities. So my advice to everyone who's applying to universities in the UK or anywhere in general, uh, apply to at least 6 universities, in which two you keep aspirational, where you think you may not get in, uh, two you keep reach, where you think you may get in, and two as safe, where you can get in. So obviously, you always have a fallback option. If you don't get into a certain university, you can fall back on the other. So do that, and I'm pretty much sure you'll be sorted. uh, Mani Chaurasia, construction project management. Uh, Specifically in terms of UK, I would say normal project management would be better, because UK as a country, I'll not say. Yes, there are jobs in engineering, but civil engineering, I would highly advise that you look at Canada. Civil and construction management sort of programs. In case you're not interested in Canada, you can also check out Australia. So they have very good courses available in this field, and there is a good demand, especially in the remote regions, wherein you can get up to 4 to 5 years of post-study work visa as well. I hope that answers your question. I'll be doing my bachelor's in Italy and master's in London. Worth it? Yes, it will be worth it, since I believe Italy is cheaper as a country to study. So I think you'll be saving a lot of money in your bachelor's degree. But again, yeah, it will ultimately come down to you what kind of career trajectory you wish to have, and if you can very well afford it, I don't see any problem, because financial would be the major challenge when you study abroad. uh, Promith, you said about management, it is not a good choice right now. So Promith, what I mean to say is management, uh, let me just put it that way. I would say if you do an MBA, right? And by MBA, I mean not a freshers MBA, but an MBA from a top B school, like let's say Imperial College or London Business School or Edinburgh, Durham, or all these universities which have really good B schools. These B schools, they essentially require 2 to 3 years of experience. So I'm in favor of those kind of MBAs because the return on investment is pretty good. I've also made a video on the same. You can go check it out. uh, However, if you are a fresher, if you don't have a relevant experience or no experience at all, I would rather go for an MSc with a specialization. So let's say if you want to you're from an IT background, and if you want to switch to management, choose a program, choose a specialization which entices you, which you can relate to more. So let's say if you want to do finance, do finance. If you want to do marketing, go for digital marketing. Try and get a specialization. MSc management is a very generic course, and until and unless you're doing it from a very high ranked university, I'm not really in the favor of this program in general. So that's my take. Like, yeah, I hope that answers your question. And yes, if you want to stay in IT, stay in IT. Like I said, you can do data sciences. You can also do business analytics if you wish, and they're pretty much good. Pramit, Coventry does offer January intake, but unfortunately, it will be closed by now. So you're too late. The next available intake would be September, essentially. Uh, Muskan Gupta, can you suggest some best universities in the UK for MSc International Business and Management? So plenty of them, Muskan. I would say Russell Group universities you can see. They are the best. Depends on which Russell Group you're targeting. Again, I would say essentially you need a 65%. Some universities may require higher percentage, but essentially, if you're very, very bullish on doing a course in international business and management, I would suggest go for a Russell Group uni. Um, Charu, yes, you can do an MBA after BA Political Science, but like I said, for MBA, I would always recommend that you go for an MBA which requires some sort of work experience, because I'm not in the favor of fresher MBAs at all. P. Ashwini, scope of air transport management. So that's a very niche course, Ashwini, and I believe if I talk about air transport management, jobs will not be plenty in general, because they'll be very limited to airports and around airports. So there are plenty good courses, but I believe job scope will be limited, and you have to kind of research well enough in advance, so that you have whole idea where you can apply for jobs, and that's the most important thing. And I'll give you an idea, how to kind of research on a job availability. So LinkedIn is actually, like Sarika also said, LinkedIn is actually a powerhouse right now. Just go there, check, what kind of jobs are listed. You do get an idea, like what kind of jobs are listed, how many jobs are listed within a country. So go check it out, and guys, you get a lot of information all on your fingertips right now. Apurva Salve, I'll put robotics and IoT as well in the IT field. So yes, definitely a good scope. Go for it. Masters in CSE, 1 year good or 2 years? So 2 years masters will basically entail a placement year. So if you don't have experience, I would say go for a 2 year masters, because you do get a chance of working, with a British employer, and that gives you a first-hand experience of working in the UK, and also puts you in a better position when you go out in the job market. Right. Let me just pick one more question, and then we can wind up this session, because today is Saturday, and yeah, everyone needs a weekend off. Uh, cool. So just my take on the current UK situation. Will it be harder in the UK in the next 2 to 3 years? Guys, I believe currently, like also Sarika said, we cannot predict what is going to happen in the next 2 years or 3 years. But essentially, if I talk about the kind of research I have done in the last few weeks, ever since this news broke out, and every country has been in recession, including Europe, including UK. But UK, because it was more of a ripple effect, wherein they got affected by Brexit as well at the same time, because they lost a very big trading partner, that is EU. Again, UK is still one of the largest economies in the world, and they have survived a lot of financial catastrophes in the past, including the 2008 depression as well. I believe it will be pretty good in 2 to 3 years. However, until the end of 2023, I see the situation getting better, but yeah, it will be still little bit tricky to kind of navigate. If you're thinking of studying in the UK, I believe, especially if you're looking to study in September 23, I believe by the time you graduate, things will be pretty much back to normal. So you can plan accordingly. I know a lot of students in my circles as well who were concerned, but again, they are kind of going through the process. At least apply, and because this is a developing situation, see how things go, and then you can decide accordingly. So if something like this bothers you, always try and apply to 2 to 3 universities, 2 to 3 countries. So like you can also target Australia for that matter. You can also target Canada if that is something that is the way you want to go. Target 2 to 3 countries, and it will be much easier and in terms of making a decision later. I hope that answers your question. And thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and I'll be back with another session soon. Thank you so much. And after this session is over, the recording will be available on YouTube. And if you want to ask any other question, you can just post it there, and I'll try to answer them. Thank you so much. Good evening, and I'll sign off now.